Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob and today I shall be attempting to take this Matchbox Series number 72 Jeep from shabby to shiny. This one, as you can see, is missing quite a bit, so I'm going to have to kind of beg, borrow and steal, and this one's not going to be a pure restoration. It's going to be, I don't know, a restoration plus stroke kind of mini custom. I like this one. I've been wanting to do this one for a little while, and in fact my stepfather was over recently and he said, I kind of showed him Matchbox Garage, all around, and he mentioned that it looks so much bigger on screen than the little bits and pieces that are around, so it's quite cool for someone to actually see it in person and compare it to what you guys see at home. But anyway, 2,000 likes and this one could be yours. So here it is. Not much of a roller, as you can see. Having 3 wheels will do that, and of course no tyres on these hubs, but we're missing 4 tyres plus the tyre on the back. We're missing the top half of the window section there, and underneath you can see that it does read made in England by Lesney, Matchbox Series number 72 Jeep. And I've just removed the flange on this one at this stage and taken a little look at this base, making sure that it's all okay, there's nothing broken, just that missing wheel. And same again with the interior there. It's fine, just covered in dust, and that'll clean up later. But we are missing quite a crucial part, and that is the top half of this window section. And to be honest, I've got a few of these and they're always missing, so I've actually got another one in as bad a condition that I can take the window section from. But anyway, these wheels are not going to be used today, so I will be going to an aftermarket set, and I hope you understand. So here we are. We've got various different options here, and I'm just kind of going through which one takes me fancy. So we've got this black set here with the red rim, looks quite good. This chrome set, very close to going with this set actually, but I went with this one in the end. I thought this one was kind of subtle and not too blingy, and I thought suited the overall look of the car. So here's now where I've cut out the axles, and they've just kind of gone into my parts bin, and then just to kind of fit or trial fit those wheels, but otherwise, I'm just gonna I'll tell you a little secret. I had another casting, like I say, in as poor condition, and the window section was complete. I tried to take it off, I snapped it. So at least I've got the top section that I can now graft to the original one for this vehicle. And we've got a spare tyre as well now in my kind of parts bin. And I'll tell you what, when it's on there, it is on there. So there you go. It's popping back off. And we can get all these pieces now ready for the caustic soda. So here we are in my foot-long hot dog jar. We cover the casting just enough with some boiling water. And in coming the teaspoon of caustic soda. So there we are, doing its thing in this first few seconds, and using my rubber glove. This stuff gets super hot, and it's obviously very corrosive and dangerous, so precautions. But you can see there's a bit of a black paint there floating, and perhaps not as obvious to you guys at home, but certainly me in person, you could start to see all the paint there coming off. but I'll put that to one side and we'll start cleaning up this interior. And like I say, with all that dust gone, that's pretty good. And then cleaning off my desk there. So it's been perhaps 10 minutes or so, and yeah, certainly you can see there the paint is either coming off or it's clinging on to dear life, but you know, with a little light brush up, all that comes off. So it's been about 10 minutes. It's still quite hot to the touch, so I'm touching it rather gingerly underneath there. But yeah, it went down the sink, and as you can see, most of the paint, probably a good 96.38%, has gone from this main casting. I'd call that 100% on the base. And I prefer the unpainted look, so that'll be getting a polish up later on. And then for the OGs of the channel, you will know that I've on many occasions dropped things down the U-bend of my sink, and today was no exception. Yeah, that one went down and I had to do a bit of plumbing, took it all apart again. You'd think I'd learn. It's about 4 times now. But anyway, got this little tack life, and I'm just going to buff up the hood of this Jeep. So with very little or light pressure, you can see that really has made that shine. Lovely jubbly. And probably, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, everything's buffed up. So that's the base there, and that's going to be remaining unpainted. And then, like I say, I've cleaned off everything, but I've now glued back on the window section here, and you'll probably just see at the bottom of each of those, just where it's a little bit shiny and wet. And it is now ready for my Tamiya Fine Surface Primer in white. And I'm going with a relatively light coat of this primer today. So there we are, all in primer, and then I'll be put to one side to dry. Now, colour-wise, I wanted to continue with the yellow, but because this is a bit of a restoration plus, I wanted to add a little bit of something in there. So not just going with the X8 on its own, I went with a 3-to-1, kind of 3/4 of that yellow, and just a little quarter of gold. And then for the first time, using this Mr. Hobby Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner 2-to-1 ratio, and I've never used this before. Someone in the comments a few videos ago suggested to use it, and yeah, it's great. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do is get in all those little nooks and crannies from the underside first of all. Bearing in mind I've never used this paint combo before with the leveling thinner. I didn't know whether I just had to use a couple of drops. I didn't know whether I had to go with a 50-50 ratio with a paint. I just went with the same ratio that I always do with my other thinners, a 2-to-1. So kind of starting from the underside, I thought if I screw this up, then at least, I can back the paint out and go with my normal, rather than having to obviously tear it all back down again. But yeah, I was really happy with this. I believe what the idea of this leveling thinner is that it has like like a dry retardant. It doesn't allow drying instantly like other thinners do. So what it does, it allows the paint to settle and ideally level out on the casting before it starts to dry, really. So it should minimise any orange peel and such. But yeah, really like it. And that's one coat. I left it about 10 minutes just to tack off, and went with a second and final coat. So it's now the following day. The interior there is all dried out, and that is ready to go. We got that replacement tyre just out of the parts bin, and that is good enough for me today. So I put these wheels on. I've done a little trial fit. They fit perfectly, roll great, no rub, excellent they are, and I really like it. And here's the dry paint. It's kind of got, it's not a very glossy finish. It's not, well, it's more of a satin sheen, but glossy enough. I felt that this was the right finish for this style of car. And I'm going to be putting on the details, the headlights and such. But here's just a little reminder of what she did look like. And this is the result. So I think this one's quite a big old change. You can see I've painted in the headlights there, and also on the front indicators. And instead of a painted black bumper on the front or those steps on the side, you know, with the base underneath, it's all nice and polished. And then those wheels just absolutely fit this car perfectly. And then coming around the backside, you got the brake lights painted in. One of them is obscured by that back tyre, but it, I promise that is also painted in. And then just another little side profile. This would be great, wouldn't it, on the summer weekends, driving down to the beach there. Beautiful. But anyway, with 2,000 likes, this one could be yours. So get liking, make a comment down below. Hey, and good luck. But anyway, just want to take this opportunity to thank my amazing patrons. And hopefully you like this one. And I'll see you on the next.